Awesome. Well, welcome everyone to our Wednesday huddle. And my name is Ben Bradshaw. For those of you that I haven't yet had the fortunate pleasure to meet, whether it was at boot camp or maybe even one of the first secret conventions back in like 2000, the beginning days, we'll just say that. uh, but Isabella, there we go. Got you on mute, girl. Okay, cool. I appreciate the time with you guys today. It's our Wednesday huddled. We are fired up, if you can't tell. Leah and I and some of the other leaders were on an insane Zoom last night. You guys have no idea. You really don't. I kind of wish you did. With the one and only, the fabulous Mark Smith. And yes, we are waiting for the replay. I heard someone ask earlier. I got the replay right here personally. So, I could, the only reason I want the replay is because I want the other bronze and above who, unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, they were able to get on. And I don't know if you guys are like myself, but sometimes you watch a movie or you hear a song and the first time you're like, man, that was amazing, right? But then you forgot all about what it was about. And I don't know if you guys maybe subconsciously, actually, I know you guys listen and watch stuff that you don't even like, but now you know the words and you remember the scenes because subconsciously it was recording and you've seen it over and over and over, right? Are you guys like that too? Like growing up, I couldn't stand country music personally. Now I love country music. But back then I used to make fun of my dad because I'm like, this stuff is horrible, right? And I don't know if you guys can relate to, something like that, but I think it was really just like my dad was a big country music fan and I wasn't because growing up, I like different stuff. And I'm like, how do you guys even listen to that stuff, right? But now I'm like, man, that music is amazing because I went to a country concert and they got me, like I got sucked in. And but I remember words from those songs that now I actually listen to. But back then I was trying not to listen to them, right? And now I know them because I know them because over the years I've heard them so many times, right? And repetition is the mother of all skill. I'm sure you guys have heard that before, haven't you? Yes, or just me, Leah, right? Like, and so that has a lot to go to as far as like what I'm going to go into today, with my training, if you will, and topic, and hopefully we won't be that long, but even in the minutes that I have to share with you, hopefully I can add value to your day, to your life, and to your business. And that, if you apply, right, that you can make a big difference in everything you have going on. And the reason why I say that is because, we've all heard that knowledge is power before, haven't we? Like, I'm not the only one, right? It's funny, I put a post up yesterday that I'll share with you in just a second. But we've all heard knowledge is power, and actually, believe it or not, that's complete bullshit. Knowledge is not power, right? We know a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge, right, in this world today, but unfortunately, they sit on their couch and they don't use any of it to make a difference, right? So it's not knowledge that's power; it's that power in which we apply, right, from the knowledge in which we've learned, because that's what makes a difference. See, because you're already using your time here today, you're spending it with us today, me and some of my, most phenomenal friends, right? You're already here spending it with us today, but I don't want you just to spend your time. I want you to invest your time with us. And the way that you go from spending time to investing it is taking the information in which we're teaching you, and you become coachable and teachable and duplicate it in your business to pay it forward to other people to have the results you're looking for, to take you from successful to significance. Are you guys following me? Because success is when you put your oxygen mask on. Significance is when you help other people put their oxygen mask on, because you can't help other people breathe if you can't first breathe yourself. And just so you guys know, actually, I'm still in quarantine. It's not news to the world just yet, but I tested positive last week. But the way I look at it is I tested positively awesome, because I just keep pressing forward, and that's my attitude. Like, thankfully, I had symptoms for just a couple of days, which were very mild. And, I'm not making claims this, that, or the other, but I take some really awesome supplements. Hashtag Life by Seacret. Thank you, Pat and Yesenia, for that. I really appreciate that. So I'm in my basement. Thankfully, my Wi-Fi is much better than it was when I first logged on. Guys, I've been putting in more work the past few days in this quote unquote quarantine, and I think I have in a long time. Why? Because I knew I was already going to have to use this time to be down here. So I might as well invest it doing things that are going to yield high results versus spending the time complaining on social media about the things that really don't matter that much anyway. You guys follow me with that? And so that's the difference from spending time versus investing it. Okay. And I hope you guys are picking up on these little nuances, because if you learn them and you apply them, you can make your life completely different. And it's not necessarily just about, the things that we are learning today. It's about the things that we're applying and what we call the compound effect. I don't know if you guys have read that book from Darren Hardy. I believe you can get it online for free. You can get everything for free on YouTube if you really want, but it's pretty crazy. They say, Monty said, amazing book. I know, man. That book changed my life, right? Like, I know that sounds cliche. It's so true, because I learned the power of these small habits, right? In which yield the high results, the high payoff income producing activity, IPA, right? Like back before personal development, I always thought IPA meant something different. It was something that you drank, but like IPA, income producing activity. And so I started working on these things long before I started seeing the results. Darren Hardy, Genevieve, I believe the Compound Effect book.com or the Compound Effect.com, you might be able to get it for free if you just pay for shipping. I think that might still be a thing. Regardless, it's worth, investing in that book, not spending on the book, right? If you buy the book and you don't read it, then you're spending money on the book, right? But if you buy the book and you invest time reading it, then it was an investment. So hope you guys caught that too. So Darren Hardy, right? The editor of Success Magazine. Some of you guys might know Darren Hardy actually was involved in network marketing back in the day. And so actually I've had the pleasure of meeting him way back when I was a young pup in my experience in network marketing. And so, phenomenal book and principles that really help shape everything that I have in my life today, and not just financial, really my health, wealth, which is, obviously, in my opinion, how you live your life, and being able to pour into others to teach them to do the same thing, which is what we call duplication, right? So there's just some simple principles that if you practice them over time, they become habits, they become habitual. And then what happens is you start to go from success to significance, because you help teach other people how to do the same thing. And so let's talk about some of these few simple high payoff activities that over time you will yield huge results if you apply, right? The first thing, right, is showing up with a good attitude. Showing up is 80% of success. We've heard this before. Now, I don't know if you guys have been like me, right? And a lot of the times what I'm going to share with you is jokes that, like, from me messing this thing up so good, I got good, and I don't consider myself great by any means. I just have fun with what I'm doing, and I do it, more than most people. Leah will attest to that and tell you guys that, like, everything that I teach is stuff that I'm doing, and literally I just try to outwork the yesterday's version of myself. The only competition is me. It's not anyone on here, and anyone can have results. You can have all the results you want if you will get through the BS that's holding you back, right? Like, yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. You guys follow me there? So, if you want to have better results, guess what? You need to learn, right? You need to plan, do, and then review. So think about this, for example. Everything that we want is on the other side of all the bullshit that we're telling ourselves, the excuses why we can't have it. Are you guys following me? How many of you guys want to hit Crown Royale? Right? Now, listen, I don't want you to hit Crown Royale for the title. Titles sound phenomenal, but guess what? Titles don't pay bills. Titles don't fuel lifestyles. The little pins that we get for our lapels, guess what? You can't go to Bank of America and say, guess what? I'm a Crown Royale. You can go to them with a mortgage payment. You can go to them with, setting up a bi-weekly mortgage payment to kill interest. You can even pay your house off in one payment if you'd like, because you're a Crown Royale and you have the freedom and flexibility to do so. You guys follow me on that, right? So don't do things for titles. Do things because the who you become along the way, as far as financial, as far as emotional, right? And just being a good person, and then obviously reaching back and pouring into others, and you'll go from that success to significance. Okay, and so, and the reason why I say that, guys, is because there's an art and there's a science to what we do in network marketing, specifically in Seacret. None of this is by accident. See, some of us think that we're getting lucky. Yeah, some of us did get lucky. We actually showed up at a great time to be involved in Seacret Direct. I can tell you guys some times where literally you would have wanted to quit. You would have wanted to throw in the towel, right? Like I don't know if Leah even remembers this, but we used to actually have people order body butter that would get shipped to Canada and it would show up frozen. Like, could you imagine someone getting frozen body butter in Canada? And like you guys, some of us are, like we get upset today because shipping is taking 3 to 5 days. I mean, guess what? That's a challenge. That's not a problem. Like, that's a challenge. You get frozen body butter showing up to a customer's doorstep. Try explaining to them how they can unfreeze it to use it, right? Like, that was interesting, And so I laugh about it now. I wasn't laughing about it back then. You know what I mean? Because some of the challenges that we go through within life, we just refuse to grow through them. And because we don't grow through them, we just go through them. And it strings us along over time. You guys follow me? And over time and over time and over time and over time, they like dwell. And then ultimately we stop doing the high payoff activity that, believe it or not, got us where we wanted to go, to receive a rank advancement, to receive now a double cycle bonus. How about that, right? How many of you guys are fired up about those? If you are not fired up about these double cycle bonuses, man, I don't know what to tell you. Gosh, they're so good. Leah, you've been enjoying those? Like, literally, it's literally like a 20% pay raise for doing what we would do anyway. You know what I mean? Like I never complained about my check because I knew that it was always a direct reflection of the work I was doing today, yesterday, and the previous 90 days, right? But now I'm like, oh, they just gave me more money for doing the same thing. I'm just gonna go do more of it. How about that, right? And so the work is the work, like I always share that, I'm very proud of this basement, although I've gotten to experience it way more than I have, in the last 2 weeks. And, but, like my dad and I built this basement. And there was a time before Seacret Direct and network marketing, way back when I started, when I was doing electrical work. My dad has been in construction for a very long time, and excuse me. And so he owned his own construction business. He's been very fortunate to see him over the years. He's very good at what he does. But I've seen the economy take a toll, right, on his industry. But ultimately, it was really, his decision of, being like staying in that industry and rolling with the punches, if you will, or whatever we tell ourselves, to make ourselves feel good. But he and I built this basement back in November before a sheet of plywood went to like $1,000, thankfully, right? So, and I was literally up here on a ladder holding up a sheet of plywood, right? Like, I'm not strong, I promise you guys, but I was giving it everything I had. And he's like screwing it in, right? Like, I'm holding this whole sheet of plywood, trying to balance, and like, thankfully OSHA didn't come by. I can tell you that much, right? Not that I would let them on my property anyway, but because it's my property. But so, and I'm going somewhere with this, so just follow me. But so at the end of the day, guys, like, he and I put this together, and so I've seen this thing come to fruition, right? And I hadn't done those things in so long, doing the electrical work, all the stuff, tying it into the panel, like a lot of scary things, but it was amazing to see it to come to fruition now. And back then I didn't realize I'd be stuck down here for 2 weeks, and now it's an amazing place actually to be stuck. I just miss my girls like so much, and because they're daddy's girls, contrary to belief, I know. But so like when I've been outside, they run towards me because usually I pick them up and throw them in the air, and but I can't do that right now, right? So like, so if you're feeling bad for me or whatever it is, right? Like, just feel bad that I can't pick them up and throw them in the air and love on them. Everything else, we are good. So, and it's almost over in a couple of days. But I say all that to say because, like seeing this come together, right? Like, we planned our work and we worked our plan. And thank you so much, Monty. I appreciate that, brother. And, so we planned the work, we worked the plan. So, and some of us in our business, in our life, we haven't planned our work, and we're definitely not working our plan because we're not growing through life. We're just going through it. Some of us haven't done our 2 exposures a day, which is very easy to do. Actually, believe it or not, I had a work anniversary, says LinkedIn anyway. I don't even know, believe it or not, but I had about 100 people reach out to me within the last couple of days saying, congrats on your work anniversary. And so, which I appreciate, but I know that they literally just clicked on the notification and then clicked send on the automatic response, right? That comes up when you click on the notification, because they were all just generic congrats on your work anniversary, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have gotten those. So, and while I was waiting for Mark Smith to come on last night's Zoom for the Bronze and Above meeting, I was literally responding back to all of those that I could last night. And I got to about 50 of them. And it said, oh, thank you so much for your response. I pray that all is well with you and your family. By the way, totally random, haha. I don't know if you're open to helping me launch this new venture that I've been working on. If you are, just respond back. If not, no big deal, ... And I got about 50 of those, and people are starting to hit me back, right? So I got literally about 50 of those responses in 10 minutes last night, just by waiting for those Zooms. And follow me on this, because I've been planning my work, working my plan. And I told Leah this a few days ago. My goal is 30 exposures a day. Leah, did I not tell you this?
You did tell me this. Yeah.
Right. Now, I know 30 is way out of the realm for what most people, can do. I get it. Most people are part-time, 2 a day, part-time on the side of what you got going on. Who can do that? Anybody, right? Now, but the things that are easy to do are easy not to do. It's easy for me to take the Immunex. It's easy for me to take, recovery, and it's easy for me to take greens, right? Once or twice a day. But also it's easy not to do, which is why most people don't do what? They don't do it, right? So now we say we want to hit Crown Royale. We would say we want to, go do, this, that, or the other. We want to rank advance to the comp plan. And, we got the Seacret tattoo. We love us some Life by Seacret. We're going to go travel the world, revenge travel, join the Club Fit Challenge and add a bunch of people in, because we commit when it's emotional. But then, we don't even take the time to plan our work and work our plan. And we wonder why we don't get the results we've been saying that we want. And we wonder why, the people that we love and that we're doing this for upstairs, when we tell them we're going on a freedom run, unfortunately, they say, yeah, I heard that before. Or what's even worse, the people that are, we're doing it for, that are counting on us, or we actually feel like they're counting against us because we haven't actually, matched the tongue in our mouth with the tongue in our shoes. Like literally the tongue in the shoe that just took off my foot. It doesn't match. So we're not working our plan because we haven't even planned our work, right? So 2 exposure today, part-time on the side. Let me pull my sock back up. That should be the minimum, right? Like the minimum, if we say that we have a business and we're building a business, because we're already taking our time away from our crazy busy schedules. Some of us are hiding at work in the corner, which respect, or maybe you call it in sick or slick is what we call it. And, like you're hopefully you're spending this time because you're investing in yourself, right? And not just spending this time because you want to hang out with us, although I do appreciate that as well. And so, we really got to get serious about what we're doing with this, and whether or not we're going to just keep Seacret, as a hobby, which is fine, because it's a phenomenal hobby to have, because you're going to look good, you're going to feel good, and you're going to get to experience the world. Or you can take this really serious and, start doing just 2 exposures a day, right? But then again, don't let your minimums be your maximums, and you can take it to 5 exposures a day, maybe 10. Or you can just set yourself on fire and say, you know what, I've put my damn line in the sand, and I know that, there's never going to be a time in history like this ever again, right? As the world automatically shifts from brick and mortar to click and order, where we can actually be more on purpose with our time, right? We can cut out the people that are just, holding us down, and we can literally invest in the time with the people that are lifting us up to be better, ultimately do better. And then, we can make a positive impact on the world. And so, listen, guys, as leaders, we welcome everyone. Why? Because we know that maybe one day you'll make that decision to go out and change lives, right? But we know that it's going to first, again, take you being successful, putting on your oxygen mask, right? Because again, you can't help other people do it if you can't do it. It's just the way that it is. And there's no better way to do it, right, than having this reset that we're in right now. This Club Seacret reset where you can actually go out and first do what? Hit star, right? I don't care if this is day one or, this is day 100. Maybe you've been in it for a couple of years. So you've been in Seacret for a couple of years, but Seacret ain't necessarily been on you for a couple of years. That's okay. Look, maybe the company's made some mistakes. Well, guess what? Oh, well, all companies make mistakes. I'll turn you guys around for a second. You see that big hole right there? Like you see that little TV right there? If I was on that little TV, I'd be spending time, right? But guess what? I can't even see that TV. And the TV that was on the wall, I put it up. It was a huge TV that I wanted to buy for my basement. And I put it up and it had a crack in it because I didn't check it out before I put it up, right? So instead of getting mad and being pissed off and say, oh, woe is me, right? I took it down and I laughed. And then I just called the company. They sent me a faulty TV. I could have been really mad. Or I could have just said, oh, well, nothing I could have done there, right? And instead of spending time straining my eyes watching that small TV, I decided to go do 30 exposures a day, 50 in like 10 minutes last night. Now, I'm not sure who's going to respond back. Like, I don't really care. Do I care? For sure. I hope I get some quality out of it. But at the end of the day, I'm just putting lines in the water and reeling them in. Most people are hunting their prospects. And so when you hunt something, literally you're shooting at it and you're hoping that you hit the target and it's running away. And so your shots are getting worse because you can't even see it anymore because it's the same prospect that you've been trying to get in the Seacret for the last 30, 50, right? 100 days. Maybe you've been trying to convince the same prospect for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you just haven't casted a bigger net to go out and reach more people and look for the same people that are looking for you because you're in convince mode, trying to get Uncle Bob off the couch. And Uncle Bob ain't been off the couch in years because Uncle Bob ain't going to do shit. But you love Uncle Bob anyway. You just got to stop trying to convince Uncle Bob. He might be a great dude, but he ain't looking for no secret. You guys follow me there? Maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe I am the only one with an Uncle Bob. But guess what? I decided to let Uncle Bob go years ago. And I started looking for Leah Johns, right? I started looking for Angela Baradas, right? I started looking for Ashley Roberts. I started looking for, oh, there's another Benjamin on here. Bagyema. Hopefully I didn't murder that last name, right? I started looking for Bob Chuhan. Hopefully I did that okay. Brian Smith. That's a Brian. I need more Brian Smiths. It's the easiest name to say in the world, right? Because guess what? They're looking for you too. But we got to let Uncle Bob go. We can come back to him. Maybe we come back to Uncle Bob and say, you know what? I love you. I don't know if now's the right time. But guess what this has done for me and my family? And you know what else? Maybe Uncle Bob's made a decision that he's looking too, because the world is changing so fast. If you don't believe whatever country you're from is not gonna shut down again, gosh, I hope it's not the case. But if you're not preparing for it now, you are in for a rude awakening, right? And they say the best time to plant a tree is now. The second best time was yesterday. So how do we prepare so we don't have to repair, as I said at the beginning of this? You prepare from planning your work right now. Give yourself a free pass for the stuff that didn't happen before. Maybe give yourself a pass for the stuff that did happen before, right? But now ain't the time to talk about what happened. Now ain't the time to read those old press clippings. Now ain't the time to, dust off those old trophies. I have so many old trophies. Like I got this really cool diamond trophy when Lauren and I from 7 months of being in Secret in 2012. Guess what? I don't even know where that damn thing is right now. I'm very proud of it. It could be behind me. I could dust it off, but then I couldn't get to the people that are so desperately looking for us before their town, before their city, before their state, before their country and their continent shuts down again. And we can help them put their oxygen masks on now, but we got to put ours on. And they're looking for you too. But are you looking for them? I don't know. Because we're down with some Secret. We get on all the calls. We spend so much time in our back office trying to track reports. Listen, ask Jesse Macpherson. I didn't know my login for the first 2 months I was in Secret. I am not joking at all. Lauren and I made almost $10,000 before I knew how to log into the back office. I'm not joking at all. And people say, oh, well, you must have been good. No, I was ignorant on fire. And I laughed at myself just as much as other people laughed at me because I didn't give a shit. I was 4 months behind on my mortgage. You think my friends and family knew that? No. Do you know why? Because it wasn't like I was going to call and ask them to borrow money to pay the bills anyway. Like literally, I don't know if you guys have ever had letters come in your mailbox that change colors. Like literally, I was going to put on my mailbox like Roy G. Biv lives here. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. And I joke like crazy because I'm like, I laugh at myself even more so nowadays. I wasn't laughing back then. I wasn't laughing back then because I was 4 months behind on my mortgage. I was working 3 jobs. I was already working hard. Like I had a torn ACL for the second time. Couldn't even afford to get it done because I didn't have medical insurance. You guys think Club Secret, like telemed, 50, 65 bucks a month, that the value's not there? Are you kidding me? Do you know what I would have done for telemed back when I started in Secret, when I was hobbling to those 3 jobs because I couldn't afford to get advice and I had a torn ACL? You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I would have done just for that alone if someone had shared that with me? And we're trying to convince Uncle Bob, who's negative about everything, right? So think about this for example. And then most importantly, I was taking care of my mom, who at the time was fighting brain cancer and literally fought brain cancer for 20 years. And we think we have problems. Like Uncle Bob keeps saying no and, tells all my friends I'm in this, that, and the other. Like, let Uncle Bob go. Love him from afar. Let me share this with you. Elevation requires separation. If you want to go up, you got to give up, right? Let me tell you this, for example, right? Like some of my family told me, like they're talking to each other now saying like, oh, Ben has COVID. Oh my gosh. I told him he should have done this, that, and the other. Listen, your family always knows what's best for you, don't they? Everyone's always an expert on Facebook, aren't they? Right? But if the solution to your challenges, not your problems, your challenges, right, or in your forefront, in the windshield, stop looking in that rear view mirror. Stop worrying about what other people are saying to you, okay? And you can get off this Zoom today and report me to your upline if you want. I'm just trying to help, right? And most of you guys aren't even on my team. That's okay. Actually, doesn't bother me at all. We don't see upline, downline, sideline. No one's, wants to be downline or downwind or anything anyway, right? Like, listen, guys, you have the solution to your life's challenges right in front of you. And what you do with it is up to you. This could be just another Zoom if you get off here and you don't take action, right? Motivation doesn't last long, right? They say neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily, like, please, right? And so, people say things all the time like, what do? I don't know. Just do more of it. Like you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, the wrong thing to the right person, and all that other cliche shit. Yeah, for sure. Just say something. Most people, unfortunately, aren't saying anything, and that's why they're not getting anyone, right? And that's another thing. Like if you're getting people, like I don't get anyone. I'm like, I'm paying for the greatest opportunity in the world. And I know what's going to happen because it happened before back in 2008. And it wasn't even as bad as what's coming. Not to be doom and gloom, but again, if you're not going to prepare, you're going to repair, right? So what are you going to do? Are you going to do more of it? Are you going to do more than 2 exposures? Can you? For sure you can. Now, listen, I know sometimes 2 is all you can do. A mentor of mine told me a long time ago, like at the end of the day, if you didn't do it 2 exposures, go outside in your front yard and yell, I have an opportunity. Maybe one of your neighbors will bite. I don't know. Maybe they'll think you're crazy. Guess what? Most people already do think you're crazy. Uncle Bob sure enough does. He ain't joined you yet. And he's not going to. He's not going to. So you got to let some people go, right? Again, elevation requires separation. You got to be on purpose. You got to invest your time. Stop spending it with people that don't or aren't aligned with your vision. It's just the way it is. Here's the thing, guys. Like this, I mean, if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you, man. Right? Like people tell me all the time, like the names of these prospects, right? That they've been talking to forever. And I'm like, I hate to tell you, you just gotta move on without them. Right? Most of us don't even have a list. Guys, I mean, I don't claim anything. I just outwork people. That's it, man. Outwork people. And I inspect what I expect. I treat this thing as a business. People talk about all the money and this, that, and the other. My children have never seen daycare. One's 3, one's 7. And I was FaceTiming with them this morning to say good morning because I'm in the basement and they're upstairs, and just being responsible, and it hurts the hell out of me that I can't be upstairs with them and just being safe, and again, guys, like most people don't even know what's happening. I'm definitely going to put a post up about it, but if you wouldn't mind, let me do that. But what hurts is like Cameron's 3 years old and she goes, I really miss you, Dad. On FaceTime this morning. Unprompted, 3 years old, And like but I'm down here making the best use of this time. Actually, I got in my car the last couple of days in the morning because it's routine for me to leave the house, right? Like I have a home-based business. It's not a homebound business. And I went to a park and ride. There's some weird people in a park and ride. I don't know if you guys know. But I was one of them today because I get my computer and I went and did 15 exposures in an hour in a park and ride with my hotspot. And I didn't get in the car. I wasn't around anyone else. Or I didn't get out of the car. Wasn't around anyone else, so I'm safe doing all the things because I have my beliefs. They might not be the same as yours. And that's actually a good thing because that's how I learn. Like I seek to understand others instead of just being understood. Right. And I think the world would be a much better place if that was the case for all of us, and being graceful in how you respond to others, but at the end of the day, guys, like I treat this like a business and I have so much fun with it. You guys probably thought I was gonna say something else, right? Maybe I was, but I have so much fun with this because I don't call it a business. I get to lead people that, either friends, family, neighbors, or strangers around a community of people that are some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And I get to actually like, my family gets to grow up around these people as well, and we think we're getting people into something. Like I'm paying forward a community, with a lot of great people, the most insane products I've ever seen in and outside of the industry. Like people say, is this network marketing? I'm like, well, everything is marketing to networks. You're just not getting paid on it, so why not? That's dumb, right? But, and then, you look at the community of people, which in my opinion is the greatest asset. And more importantly, Isaac, like, come on, like the dude ships products and pays commissions. People get upset because like things aren't perfect. Isaac ships products and pays commissions and gives us the most incredible products and tools in the industry. And we're upset because, like, you know, things aren't perfect. Join a company like Amway where they actually don't really care about what you think. Why? Because they've had 2 momentum runs in their existence globally. They've done almost $1 billion or $11 billion in, you know, revenue last year, and people aren't joining Amway to be legendary and make history anymore nowadays. Could you join the company and do well? For sure. Yeah, I'm sure you could. But if you went and yelled Amway in a public area, people freak out like something's crazy is happening. They don't have the respect for Amway that I do, because if it wasn't for a company like Amway, guess what? We wouldn't even be around today, because they took the bullets from the government, you know, like, so we could actually, you know, be in business today, right? Like the lawsuits, and, you know, they had the shield on so we could even operate. You know what I mean? Like, that's respect ultimately. But look at where you guys are today. You're in a global company that already has an infrastructure in place, right? Like, insane products, only getting better, insane compensation. Like the compensation plan, let me tell you guys, like, if you don't understand it, actually don't try to understand it. Just go do more activity. You won't understand your check, but you'll cash it. I promise you. I still don't understand it. I don't really care. It's amazing. It's activity, right, Monty? Activity. People say, what am I doing for exposures today? Everything, right? I'm literally picking up the phone, calling people. If they don't answer, I text them, call me ASAP with a smiley face. And then I be brief, be brilliant, and be on to the next call. I use the Share Secret app with the new video, and I text it to people, right? Or, you know, I'll ask them something like, you know, hey, you know, totally random, but are you open to making additional income on the side of what you have going on if it didn't interfere with your crazy busy schedule? ... Kind of a silly question, right? Ha ha ha. I'm saying whatever. And some say yes, some say no, and some say, what is it? And if they say no, I don't let a no be a dead end. I say, well, who do you know? And if they say yes, or what is it? I say, so glad you asked. If I send you a quick video, when could you take a look? Or if I added you to this online informational page, when could you take a look? Right? Send me your address and I'll send you some free product to try. No strings attached. Guys, it ain't rocket science. If it was rocket science, I wouldn't be able to do it. I promise you that. I barely got out of high school. Actually, I think the teachers felt sorry for me and just was like, let's give this guy a free pass. They started multiplying letters and I was like, oh, that's it for me. Game over. I can't do this. And it wasn't that I couldn't. That was my attitude back then, is because I didn't want to do it, you know? But then someone showed me this profession of relationship marketing and I was like, I can do this. I can start out part-time on the side of my 3 full-time jobs that I'm hobbling to, by the way, like a crazy person. I can do this when I have COVID and I'm stuck in my basement, away from my family upstairs, with my wife, who's just an amazing saint who's been taking care of the girls. Good. Woo. Good Lord bless me with that one, huh? You know, like, oh, I can't wait to spoil her. You know, like, literally, they, like a system with mentors who would pour into me, and all I had to do was show up, plan, do, and review, work my plan and plan my work, work my plan and plan my work, right? Here's the thing, guys, getting rich is boring. Being rich is not, you know? All you do is practice the simple things repetitively over time that will yield high results. It ain't the hamburger or cheeseburger or fast food today that's going to hurt you. Guess what? It's the one you eat every day that's going to hurt you. It's the 2 exposures a day that you don't do every day that's going to hurt you. The 5, the 10, I don't know, whatever it is for you. Just be intentional, guys. Figure it out, you know? So here's a couple things we got coming up, all right? And I'll end with this. I'm going to open it up for a couple questions, okay? Here's the thing. If you have questions about stuff that is like customer service related, call customer service, right? Please don't bother your support team and your leadership and your mentorship with customer service related challenges, okay? If you have marketing challenges, call them, bug them. That's what they're there for. They actually get paid very, very well to help you with those things, okay? But again, let's be intentional. So, couple things, guys. We have a few events coming up here soon. Now, obviously, this replay will be available. Get the replay link. We'll post it in the Team Elite Agents group. Send it out if you got value. Watch it again if you got value. Promote it on your team groups if you got value. Right? Like, that's it. If you didn't, don't. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. You know, but obviously we have you know, the Vegas event coming up. Guys, Marcus said his events are so insane, guys. So you can find that information in your back office. Definitely get registered. My first event, again, 4 months out of my mortgage, working 3 jobs, hobbling, taking care of my mom. People say, oh, well, you know, my family was saying, Ben, you can't afford to go. But meanwhile, I was saying I can't afford not to go. It's the view, right? Monty said I'll be there VIP. I will too, hands down. Canada, gosh, I pray you guys can go and be there. I'm literally, Leah and I joke all the time, like, I'm coming to rescue you guys, like, no joke. So hopefully you guys can be there. And I don't care where you are, like, figure out a way to be there, okay? I always say it's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission, except for with my wife, Lauren, because she already knows that too well, and she tells me not to do it up front. So I'm like, damn it. You know, so team calls, more exposures, right? More activity, more purpose. And so with that being said, guys, anyone have any questions? Again, marketing questions, not customer service questions. All right, we're good. Awesome.
Just a quick note, Ben, that we do have, if you guys, we have the Team Fit or Club Fit Challenge coming up. So I know a lot of us have some extra COVID weight that might be hanging on. And this is also an opportunity where I'm getting a lot of really great responses, actually. I'm just reaching out to people and just, you know, letting them know that, hey, this is a challenge that I'm doing. I've decided enough is enough. And I'm curious if you've made that decision too and want to join me for the next 60 days to make a difference for my health and to get my 6-pack back. So, you know, the people who I hang out with are quite athletic as well. And we're all like over, you know, at 10, 15, 20 pounds. So, you know, we're just going to get a lot more serious. So yeah, this challenge is going to be incredible. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm so excited to make an impact in people's health and their life, because not only are they going to look better, they're going to feel better. And from not looking after yourself, we know that, you know, it's just not about how we look, it's about how we feel and what's going on inside of us that we don't even know. As a breast cancer survivor, I know this very well to heart. And so I choose healthy because I know that's what my body needs to live a long, healthy, sustainable lifestyle and life and feel my best. So please, you guys, this is an amazing challenge. We can change lives in ways we don't even know, and getting them on a lifestyle change. That's what our products is all about. It's health made simple, literally. And I love that Dr. Cohn, for those of you who may have missed it, he said, you know, McDonald's made eating simple. But it certainly, they were like the leader of that. They certainly did not make it healthy. So Dr. Cohn's mission was to make health made simple in your homes. He's done that. So we can have some amazing results, and you stick to it, because your testimonial is gonna be money in the bank. So you make sure, you know, you do your absolute best. I know it's hard, and just be honest with yourself, but just think you're making money while getting results. So sometimes that helps us stay to it, because your after picture is going to be golden, because we are going to run this again. So sorry, just want to put that in there, Ben, because that's coming up.
Perfect.
And we got to order packs now. You got to order your packs now, and because we want to be available for Monday. Monday's cutoff, so that's coming up real quick here. So yeah, super excited about that.
No, thank you for that. And I'm going to put in here in the chat thread what Jesse put it on his Facebook post about he posted this on his wall. I'm not really big on like posting things on my wall. Like I'm about using stories to capture people because it gets me right into their direct messages right away. But this is something that has gotten him a lot of traction. I just posted it. Make it your own. Don't be a robot, please, because everyone already knows that, you know, you didn't write that. So just make it your own and be you. People love you. But Leah's absolutely right. Like if you want results in your business, use this product and take this Club Fit, you know, challenge serious. You know, like there's nothing better, you know, for not just for your health, you know, but and for your finances than, you know, a better, healthier version of you. If you want to prove the naysayers wrong, take this challenge serious, right? Like people will look and they'll ask, you know. But again, be on purpose, be you, and let's make it happen. So appreciate you guys. We'll knock out this replay and make it happen, guys. And I appreciate you. Let's just be on purpose. Let's make it happen. 2 exposures a day. Getting rich is being rich is not. Or getting rich is boring, being rich is not. And we'll see you guys on the next huddle. Take care. God bless.